Sourdough starter is a living culture that is created by combining flour and water, which is left to ferment, allowing the natural yeasts and bacteria in your environment to take over and create a leavening agent, aka something that makes your bread rise. So today, I'm gonna start walking you guys through how to make your very own sourdough starter. I work with a scale when it comes to all things sourdough. Measuring by weight is way more accurate than measuring by volume, and especially when you're getting a sourdough starter started, having that accuracy is really helpful and super important. So I measure everything in grams. I also start off by using a whole wheat flour for mine for the first 2 days at least. Whole wheat flour has more nutrients in it than an all-purpose or a bread flour is gonna have. So it's gonna be able to get started a little bit faster if it has more nutrients to feed off of. You could, in theory, make a sourdough starter out of any kind of flour though. You could use whole wheat flour, all-purpose flour, einkorn, spelt, rye, anything. Any kind of flour, as long as you stay consistent with the flour you're using, you can use any kind of flour to make a starter. So for day one, we're measuring out 50 grams of flour. You're gonna be weighing out equal parts of flour to water. When it comes to your water, the big thing that you want to avoid is chlorine in your water. Chlorine is gonna kill the bacteria that you're trying to create. So if your tap water has a ton of chlorine in it, either boil it off first or let it sit at room temperature for a few days, or use filtered water, bottled water if you wanna be really safe. I just use filtered water and I keep my kettle full all day, so it kind of sits out at room temperature all day. And that's just the water that I use. So 50 grams of this water. And you always want to make sure you take anything off of your scale before you mix it. Mixing on your scale could break it, so you never want to mix on top of your scale. Our flour and water are fully mixed and combined, and that's all it takes to get day one of your sourdough starter going. Now we're just lightly going to place our lid on top. You don't want to screw it on. You want to make sure there's at least a little bit of room for air to be getting in and out of your jar. And now we're going to leave this on the counter in a warm space out of direct sunlight, and we will check back on it tomorrow for our day two.